Welcome out to the range today. We are going to talk about an underrepresented area of firearms, and that is firearms maintenance. And I'm going to show how to clean or maintain a pump action shotgun. But before we get there, there exists an artificial butter flavor beyond which people believe it's not butter. This is called the margarine of error. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Welcome back in. It was a corny joke, wasn't it? So today we're going to talk about specifically a pump action shotgun. Now this one happens to be a Remington 870. Most pump action shotguns come apart, at least the barrel comes off and you can clean them about the same way. I am not going to pull the trigger group out of this one today. If that's how deep you want to go and you shoot a whole bunch, that's great. I'm sure there's videos out there on how to do that specifically. Now this is not a video on how to clean an 870. This is a video on firearms maintenance in general about pump action shotguns. Now we'll turn it around. It is empty. It's empty up here. Okay, so the magazine's empty. The slide's open. There's nothing in the chamber. That way's safe. That way's safe. So don't fry me on that kind of stuff. You start by having the action open, making sure your firearm's empty. That's always, always, always pointing in a safe direction. Take the cap off that retains the barrel. In this case, the slide will fall off. Pull the barrel off. And that, for what we're doing today, is it. Now you can take the bolt out if you wish to, think you need to. And you could pull or push these two pins out, drop the trigger group out of it. I don't shoot it enough that gets super glucky and so on, but you might want to do that every few years. So, to me, when you're cleaning firearms, slings become a major pain in the rump because you don't want to take it completely off most of the time, but they're just there. The nice thing about cleaning a shotgun is it's exceptionally simple. And the important part I just learned on this one about checking your firearm and maintaining them, and you probably can't see it, but this screw, as I touch this, is loose. My big fat finger's in the way. So now I'm going to have to sight it in because the screw that holds the sight in place for windage is loose and it's not where it's supposed to be. Check your equipment. No, I didn't do that on purpose. Kind of frustrating, to be quite honest with you, but it illustrates the points of always preparing your stuff, maintaining it, paying attention to it. Now, single barrel big shotgun things are simple to clean. Take your favorite cleaning stuff, whether that's Hoppies or any other type of brand, Bore Bright. Well, I have some Hoppies here. Let me dig around over here. Here's Hoppies. Which Hoppies? You can tell I've had this ball a while. Hoppies is powder solvent. There are a lot of brands of powder solvents. It's just one that I've used for years and years. And then I have a small bottle of Gunzilla, the world's best CLP is quoted on the bottle. I don't know if it's the world's best, but it does a good job. And CLP, for those who don't know, is cleaner, lubricant, protectant. Okay? It's a catch-all that the military has come up with a long time ago when I was cleaning M16s, etc. in the military. The only thing you were allowed to use on them was CLP, and that was military issued stuff. So That's where this comes from. I'm sure that anybody out there that's been in the military in the last 40 years understands what CLP is. And sometimes it is a one catch or one horse, one trick pony. Sorry. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you need a true powder solvent. A lot of us get powder solvents. So let's get to it a little bit. I have some swabs here, 20 gauge, 12 gauge one. I have a 12 gauge brush here. I have more crap than you would ever think you need just because I've collected it over all the many years. So I've got several different sizes of and for different calibers of brushes and rifles and shotguns and handgun swabs, 9mm, 38, you name it. Anyway, several different tips. You don't need a gun cleaning kit like this. You don't need a super special specific to, this one's Otis brand. It is specific to 30 caliber, I believe. Oh no, it's not specific to anything. It's got several different brushes in it. It and a bore, so you can see your bore, see if it's clean, and a little flag to make sure it's unloaded. And your wire rod that you put together. There's the cleaning tip. They're very nice for packing around. You can see I don't use this one very much because I have various rods and crap that I've, again, collected over all the years. And this is a good reason, this kit right here is a good reason why you should know your equipment. I'm just going to demonstrate my fallacies so you learn from them. And it comes with a little bottle of, oh, look at that, branded right on it, CLP Shooter's Choice brand. So, a different CLP. Anyway, we'll set that one aside. Get ourselves some cleaning rods here. See if I can figure out which one goes to which. Get it put together. You want one long enough to go through the barrel. Let's see, that one will go through, so we don't need these parts. This one screws on, so, okay. I got a towel down just so my stuff doesn't swim away, slide away on a plastic table. Spray a little bit of CLP on the brush. Now you don't need a bore brush because, well, call it what you want. The military has a very specific bore brush for your M16 AR platforms. And you want to, especially if the barrel comes off, you're okay. If the barrel's attached, and you want to go like on a bolt action rifle or something, you want to go from the breech end out so that when you push all that stuff that's in the barrel that the brush is breaking free, it goes out onto your towel or whatever, not into the mechanism of your firearm. And that's especially the same thing with your semi-autos and your AR platforms and so on. So take the brush. Now the smooth bore, this is not a rifled barrel. The smooth bore, oh, that thing's filthy. Maybe we'll put a little bit of this down it. There we go. Anyway, the smooth bore, you don't have to worry so much if your brush and handle spin because there's no rifling to grab it. When you have a rifled barrel or any rifled barrel, rifle or handgun, then you want to make sure that your handle spins because then it doesn't untwist your gear, as if that makes sense to you. So as your brush and or patch, etc., goes through the rifling, it spins with the rifling. And it can, as you pull it back, unspin with the rifling. Probably a lot of you out there say, well, the real way to do it is take this off, pull your rod out, put it back through. That is a way. Whatever works for you. I'm going to use my towel that's on the table here as a rag. Some people put rubber gloves on or nitrile gloves, whatever the term is today, but you know what I mean. So that you don't get this crap all over you. And if you wait forever like I have, your barrel's going to be pretty filthy. I'll do this a couple more times. We're just going to, whether I get it perfect or not today isn't the point. Just going to demonstrate how to do it. Now, how clean you get it is up to you and your drill instructor. Not really. It's up to you. Does it have to be perfect to function all the time? No. Does it have to be clean to function? No. But it helps. And if you let it go long enough, even with modern stuff, you will end up with problems. You'll end up with it not wanting to chamber. You'll end up with it not being as accurate. Now, I have never gotten into debrassing the barrels of my rifles. I keep the rifles clean. Man, I told you there was a lot of crap in it. That's pretty bad. Oh, nice and shiny now. I can't get the camera close enough to show you how nice and shiny, but it's nice and shiny. Well, hello? Let's see. Oh, there you are. Well, it could be shinier. Now, this is just a plain finish. There's no bluing to it, so you don't have to really worry about. You need to clean it off. We'll do that here in a little bit. But, you know, it's got its dings and scratches, and it's a work firearm. And it's not, you know, exceptionally pretty. It's not a wingmaster. It's meant to work, not look pretty in the field. Unfortunately, I don't really have any 12 gauge patches with me. Oh, I lied. Here they are. I recently set this up. I don't know where everything is. And again, you don't need, you know, this big of an operation. But I've collected a bunch of stuff over the years, and it's just simpler for me to have this big of an operation of stuff. And I probably should have done this before the swab, but I wanted to get some of that crud that the brush had broken free there. We're just going to shove this through here without the tip on it. See if we can get a little bit more stuff out of there. Man, you see, that's still coming out black. And we're not going to bore you to death with this all day, but I just wanted to make the point of keep your firearms maintained. And just like this, I would have never assumed that stupid or thought that this screw would come loose, but it sure as heck has. So especially if you're headed up to the woods or an important hunting trip or something, you want to get all that in order, obviously, right? I mean, that could be the ruin of a trip if you got out there and the thing fell off or wasn't sighted in because you didn't take the time that year. I know it's a pain in the butt. I really do. And I've been there where you just grab your shit and go. Paul hated that. He hated guys that would just show up and their stuff wouldn't be ready. And it'd be opening day and they'd be wanting to shoot their gun to sight it in, or they thought it was and they missed the deer. And it just frustrated him that people didn't take the time to go out and get their stuff ready to go. Be kind of like taking your knife and not sharpening it, or not making sure that your matches in your survival kit was good, or anything else. And I don't know about you, but I have not seen enough big giant trophy deer and or big giant trophy elk and or sometimes anything legal to shoot that I want to waste my opportunity on equipment I didn't prepare. Well, obviously it's not going to get super clean today. That is better than it was, but it might take a long time to get this barrel clean today. So I'm going to set that aside. Have a bag. Helps when you're doing it outside so your life partner doesn't get upset with the smell in the house. Put the lid back on this. It's almost empty, but we don't want to make it spill all over our stuff. Keep the hoppies out of your coffee. I'm going to take a few more of these. I'm going to spray some clear. This says non-hazardous formula, bio-based formulated, non-petroleum or water, soap and water cleanup, No ammonia, no corrosive, no flammable. They're not a sponsor or anything else. I'm just reading the bottle. Got it free at a training class. So we're going to do that, see if that works any better. But we're going to just quickly do the receiver. Now, you can get your fingers in the receiver, clean the bottom part off, clean your follower, the outside of your trigger group here. Just the outside of the firearm, because you know when you pull the trigger, things get dirty. We're going to clean the bolt that we can get to. We're going to clean the face of the bolt. Turn around. And clean the face of the bolt off here. And you can see this isn't just from my hands. Just the outside of it's been dirty. Put it back in. Turn it over so you guys can see a little bit what I'm doing. We're going to get, because it's a 12 gauge, you can get your fingers in there, even my short fat. Sorry about that. Battery died on me. So now that I've got the receiver all cleaned up, I am going to test to see whether or not, make sure that the firing pin still moves and stuff. And it can be a little painful. What we're going to do is just put very gently, and I don't know if the camera can see it or not, right there is where the firing pin comes out. Very gently, we're going to put our finger over that because it smarts if you push hard, or some people use a penny or a dime or something, but you can put it on there, pull the trigger, and it should poke the end of your finger. And the firing pin went back into place, and you can feel that the firing pin came through. So it's just kind of a function check before you put your firearm back together. Just like that. If you wanted to do it again, pull the trigger. Yep, it works, and you can't see it, but the bolt jumps. So just for TV land, watch right here. You'll see that the hammer mechanism hits the back of it, and you'll see the bolt jump because obviously it's not against the end of the barrel or a shell. See? And so the hammer hits it, and in this case, it hits the firing pin. It all works right. Yay! That's what we want to know, that it works right. So, theoretically, our barrel was cleaned. Obviously, I'm going to take this home and clean it a little more. We're going to wipe off the outside again. We're going to make sure that the breech and the barrel, man, look at that. Anyway, we're going to make sure that all this has been cleaned out the best we want to do it today. Clean off the grime in our hands and other things off the barrel. And then we're going to put it back together. Now, single barrel firearms are probably the simplest thing we got out there, and especially when you can pull the barrel off of them. In this case, it slides right back on. You take your cap. Ha ha ha. You don't forget to reattach your sling. Put it down here. Aha, hold on. We're getting there, folks. Okay, reattach my sling. Put it on just like that. Now put the cap back on. Don't cross thread it. There it goes. There you go. Put it on just finger tight. Just get it on there. See, that holds in place. If you feel like it, rack it a couple times. Pull the trigger, rack it, function test it. It works. It's that simple. Now, what I am going to do while we're here is I'm going to put this in the middle. So I'm going to put my rear sight in the middle. I'm going to get a fancy screwdriver over here so I at least have it bore-sighted, so to speak. At least in the middle to start with. I'm going to retighten that screw so it doesn't loosen more and I don't lose it until I can get back out here and sight it in properly. Now, if you were lucky enough to clean your firearms at the range and you really wanted to make sure it was going to shoot, you might go get it dirty right away and crank off a couple rounds just to make sure everything's going to perform like you want it to. If not, and you're sitting at home, that's the best you can do. Put the safety back on, and for those who don't know, the safety on this one, you may or may not be able to see it. Red means fire, or it's ready to go. When you can't see red, it means it's on safe. Pull the trigger, it doesn't go off. Push it so you can see the red. Pull the trigger, goes off. You can see the slide release. We're in business. So I'm going to put this back down here on my lap. I'm going to leave this stuff here for just a minute. Let me get cleaned up and we'll close out today. What I want you to remember from today is firearms maintenance is not really an option. It's a necessity, just like it is changing the oil in your car, putting gas in your car, making sure your windshield wipers work, all that stuff to make your car safe for you to operate. Same thing applies to firearms. Making sure your sights are on, make sure that your glass isn't broken, make sure that it functions properly, and the rounds, the projectiles will go down the barrel safely with the same pressures they're supposed to. It's a necessity of owning firearms, period. With modern firearms, modern powders, we don't have to do it every single time we pull the trigger, unlike maybe with true black powder stuff. But you should, especially if you're going to long-term store them. Go home from the range, clean it up, put a light coat of oil or whatever your protectant is that you use, wipe down all your hands, sweat and so on off of it, put it in your safe. With that, always remember to make your training as fun as possible. Take friends and family to the range. Go out, practice, know your equipment, and always be the best prepared for the worst case situations.